Hi, I'm Maria Serrano.
My name is Gil Serrano.
As Catholics, we're taught to go out and do, be active, contribute, and I really believe that that is so important, especially for our community, to bring forth more adults, young people who are willing to go out there and make a difference. And the more that we step forward and go out of our comfort zone and do these things, the more you discover about yourself, the more you discover about God's love, and the more you discover about everyone around you in your church and your parish. And I've built such good bonds here.
We're a pretty active family. I'm not saying that we're 100%, but I think we put the time in and I think it's worthwhile. For example, raising money for this church that I worked on, and my wife in teaching, and our further involvement beyond. I mean, many people go to church Sundays, they pray, they're good Catholics, good Christians, that's okay. But I want them to think that we're a little further than that. And I hope they continue that, take it a bit further themselves, not just go to church, not just go to confession, not just live a good Catholic life, but give it a little more beyond that. We'll tell each other, well, you know, we're Catholics, you know, that's the right thing to do. And many times we get tested by things we don't really want to do, but we know it's a Christian thing to do. And I think it helps that we have that, and we bring it up a lot about what would God do, what would a good Catholic do in a situation like this. We don't feel like doing it, but you know it's the right thing to do.
When I was growing up, my grandmother took on the responsibility of seeing to it that I went to church on Sundays. It just felt so beautiful to me as a child and made me feel like I belonged to something bigger even than my family.
I feel like faith is something that connects everybody. It brings everybody together. And the Catholic Church, it's a home. And I have my sister and brother, but I also have my sisters and brothers here that I know I can rely on, I can talk to. And building a relationship outside of just that family boundary is really nice. And I feel like when you bring that to a next generation, you're really giving them something amazing, and it's a true blessing.
I guess, and this may be off the subject, but I've been to a lot of funerals. Mm-hmm. As you get older, you lose people. And I went to a visitation for a funeral yesterday, as a matter of fact, and the people involved were good Catholics in Alaska, long-time Catholics. So they were, it was a Catholic funeral, and I was telling them, I said, look, your mother and father lived such great lives. They were good Catholics. They were good people. Everything about them was great. And you guys the father passed away 18 months ago. The mother passed away last week. But they were an exemplary group of people, and they were good Catholics, so it had been. And so I told the kids, I said, you guys have to just carry on, because you have the example of your mother and father were good people. Do the same. You know, leave something behind that people can be proud of, because their parents did. I'm hoping that gets passed on, that these kids can see what lives their parents had, and they're both gone, but they now can take the torch and move forward.
The example that I hope my children take away from my being active in the church is we all have a gift to give.
Being a teenager, a lot of the times the weekend is the only thing you think about. And for me, along with that weekend, now I've developed a relationship with these fourth graders. You know, you really start to miss them. It's not only just a responsibility, it's I want to, and I enjoy it. I love getting up in the morning and, you know, seeing their smiles and seeing them, you know, writing stuff on the whiteboard, and, you know, it's a fun experience. And though maybe my Saturday nights aren't as eventful, it's the Sunday mornings that make me really happy as well.
My hope for all of my children, as they leave my nest and go into the world, that they stay within the faith for their own spiritual solid, so they know that there is solid ground always wherever they are. They're never alone wherever they are. God is always with them. And anywhere that you go, there's always a church you can go to. There's always Mass you can attend. There's always work, God's work, to be done wherever you go. That's my hope for them.
You know, when I'm 18 and I'm out of the house, I feel like church will be that one place where I'll feel at home. And, you know, it'll bring me back to moments when I was younger and with my parents. And I think that'll bring me some more stability in my life. And it's just more of a ground to be on. And I think it'll be a very securing feeling, even when I'm out.
Our faith brings us together and makes us stronger when the outside world gets kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. I know that the faith is brought down from even further out than my grandmother. I know my great-grandmother took my grandmother to church, and she took me, and she took my father, and I take them, and I hope to take her children, and I hope she will take her grandchildren.
Someday with grandkids, I'd love to see the day where different kids, grandkids are out two together, back and forth. You know, we have a real mess trying to keep them quiet.
To think that this tradition, this faith that my mom's going to share with my kids one day, that I'll pass down to them, is just, it's a weird feeling, but it's cool, it's special. So I think it's a really special thing.
Join me.
Join me.
Join me
Help carry the faith
into the next generation.